What's going on, guys?
What's up?
We're back. And Ruby's back.
This is mine now.
I wouldn't go that far. I will.
She likes me more.
If you try to take her, I will literally murder you.
It seems like hyperbole, but that's a weird example.
Literally.
Like the dictionary one where literally means figuratively now? That's a thing.
I'll murder you literally with a dictionary. We're back. It's week... What is it? Is it week 3 into week 4?
Yeah.
We've
coming into week 4.
Yeah, so we're getting next episode's probably gonna be the first trimester grades, right? Yep. So we'll see how our predictions are doing, and we'll also see.
Assuming we make it that far.
Yeah.
We got our first COVID hotspot. Of course, it's in the South.
Of course, it's my number 1 draft pick. You know, why would my first round draft pick want to play in week 4?
It's just a bye week. It's okay.
For now.
Fuck! She just bit my throat.
Well, maybe
this bitch.
Maybe stop being a beta. She's the alpha.
Okay.
Come here, baby. Come here. You wouldn't bite daddy, would you? No. So anyway, we're gonna talk about the scores for week 1. We're gonna stop looking at my team and look at the scores from week 3, and then talk about our predictions for week 4. And obviously the theme for this episode, as you can see in our little header that we have there updating every week, is Jason Smith, bad luck or bad team. We'll kind of debate that point in a little bit.
Yeah.
So please, if you're watching, please comment in the chat so we know you're there. We'll give you a shout out if you do. Hopefully this is coming through to the stream. So anyway, I gotta move one thing. So I let my puppy down, unfortunately, because I wasn't able to go to 3-0 and beat Jerry. I didn't have myself winning this week, so I wouldn't say it's necessarily surprising. I'll also say this. I mean, what was I in scoring? Number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So like, not terrible.
Snuck in the top half there.
Yeah. But overall, so I'm not. Who's that? Back to the Pac-12? Who is that?
Shout out, bitches. I don't know who back.
Identify yourself. And we'll give you a shout out.
I'm assuming that's McMillan.
Back to the Pac-12.
Because I'm assuming it's
like is he saying like back to the Pac?
I was saying like the Raiders, like in the what? Like because they're not like.
Oh, I thought it was like
they're not on the Pacific Coast anymore.
I thought it was like the Pac-12, like college.
Oh, apparently it's Daryl.
Daryl, what's up, buddy?
I didn't know you were still a person.
Holy shit! Shut up.
I haven't seen him in like a year, bro.
He's seen us now.
Hey, Daryl.
We love you, Daryl. We miss you so much, buddy. And we're gonna talk about your team this week getting a win, their first win of the season. We're so proud of you and Nick this week, right, Ruby? Yeah. So, here, you want me to give her back to you, babe? I'll give her back.
Let's get down to business here.
Get down to brass tacks. Men in Blazers going. I love you. So, yeah, I mean, let's look at our matchup real quick. I won't spend too much time on it because, again, it went pretty much how I anticipated. Also, I'm going to move this way a little bit so that you can get in the shots. And can you move?
Yeah, I can move in a little bit.
You over here.
Gotta get things.
Let's get.
You can tell we did a lot of prep coming in, as you guys can tell.
All of the prep. All of 10 minutes trying to get it on YouTube stream just to not do it.
So, yeah, I will say, we were literally live on the podcast last week when, of course, you accidentally start Preston Williams and he immediately gets a touchdown. But that's pretty much all he did for the entire game.
I know.
I mean,
he had 2 catches. That was the one. That was
it. Yeah, it was literally 6.6 in that first one, and then barely touched the ball again. But you can't be too mad.
It wouldn't have mattered.
Yeah, we kind of made that bet on the game right before it started, and that just went so well for me.
Oh yeah, thank you very much for the free money. Obviously, the Miami Dolphins picked the right game out of their 3 weeks so far to win, but I actually think, just as my 30-second take on the Dolphins right now, they're exactly where you want to be in year 2 of a 3-year rebuild. Ryan Fitzpatrick's the guy to teach Tua, for him to learn from. We don't have Adam Gase as our head coach, which is the biggest thing we have going for us right now. It was therapeutic to watch them crash and burn,
I don't know what
against the
Gardner
Broncos.
Minshew's doing. I don't want to get into that game. You won the bet. I didn't expect Jacksonville to lay an egg like that.
It was fantastic.
But yeah, no, my big players came up big.
I mean, Russell Wilson is a monster, and he's going up against Miami this week, by the way, which is a beautiful
it's
matchup.
Lovely. I love it. I finally did a benching situation. Like, I benched the Ravens defense for the Browns defense. It was the first time I actually got one right.
Brad's watching.
Oh, hey.
And the first thing he says is stop talking about the Dolphins. Literally no one cares. I mean, you're not wrong.
Yeah, but no, I had another. I mean, you didn't have a bad week, 128.
Again, I'm not too mad about it. Derrick Henry, Dak Prescott continuing to do what they're supposed to do. I'd like to see more out of OBJ, obviously, and even Jonathan Taylor. Like, I'm a little like he's supposed to be the guy, and it's not like Nyheim Hines is doing much.
Yeah, but a 128-point day without Devontae Adams too.
Totally happy about it.
Can't be too upset.
No, and 128 without Devontae Adams, exactly. And your team did great. So, moving on to the next matchup, we've got and we again, I'm not gonna say we're right about everything, but we're getting a lot right this year. I think other than episode 1.
Yeah,
I
first one,
nailed.
we just got everything wrong.
Like, and we both knew Alex was terrible, and that prophecy fulfilled itself. Literally last place in scoring.
Yeah, no. I mean, Alex snuck by, got a win last week or 2 weeks ago against Brad. That type of shit wasn't gonna fly this week.
I mean, and again,
it's doubling his points.
Well, it's McMillan who's coming off the week of the best week of his season, maybe the best week of his career. And I said it in week 1 that McMillan, he should be watching the stream. Also, he was commenting on the Facebook group, so I believe he's gonna be watching the stream. If you're watching, McMillan, shout out in the chat. I said preseason, one of my top 3 teams finally drafted a good team, and look what he's doing. He follows up his massive performance last week with a 150 burger, the second highest team in scoring, and everybody's playing well. Alvin Kamara, didn't he put up a 40 burger last week?
He did put up. I don't remember now.
Let me look it up really quick, but I'm almost positive he put up a. Okay, I'm sorry. 33.
But no, I mean, you can't complain
when your running back's putting up 33 a game.
Yeah, 30 plus. Like, yeah.
Patty Mahomes put up a 40 burger.
So the Patrick Mahomes one was pretty ridiculous. Like, there's a reason I benched the Baltimore defense because I didn't want to be playing against Kansas City's offense. But who could have expected Patrick Mahomes to go off for 40?
He does that though. That's his thing. That's what the man is the best quarterback in the league by a decent margin.
I mean, we'll see.
I mean, he just beat his only competition for that title. Other than maybe Russell Wilson.
Yeah. I would argue right now Russell Wilson is the best football player in the world. Like, Patrick Mahomes.
I think you can make a case either way. I'll give you that.
Patrick Mahomes has more raw talent, and that Russell Wilson will not hold that title for long.
Russell Wilson's right in his prime right now, and Patrick Mahomes is still
he's young. He's young as fuck.
Yeah,
like,
this is scary.
He's only gonna get better. Like, So getting back into it, like, Alex just like needs a running back.
Alex needs a lot. Although he did.
Michael Thomas being hurt, he left Rex Burkhead.
That does not help.
I mean, but who could have expected Rex Burkhead? What was it, 3 touchdowns?
Yeah, I mean,
like
he had 3.2, 6.9, and then puts up 30.
31. Like, it would not surprise me if Rex Burkhead. I'm not predicting this, but I'm saying it wouldn't surprise me at all if Rex Burkhead doesn't hit double digits again for the rest of the season.
Yeah, I could see.
Like,
maybe like 1 or 2 weeks, but that, like, not much.
Yeah, Ronald Jones sit on the bench would have been a little bit better, but I mean, no, Michael Thomas being out, I'm assuming that Alex is going to make a trade for Michael Thomas. There was definitely talks about that at the last league event.
He has 4 players this week that were in double digits. Sean Sucks 69. Who is that?
That's got to be McMillan.
It's got to be McMillan, I think, but it's a fantastic name. Way to go. There's Burchak. So, back to Burchak. He had 4 players in double digits this week. And one of them was his kicker, Rodrigo Blankenship.
Matt Ryan with 11.42 is not.
Yeah.
Not a whole ton we can say. I said last week, if there's any team that I was going to be hitting the panic button on already, it was going to be Alex's team. Yeah. And this follow-up isn't great.
Yeah. Meanwhile, McMillan looks good for a playoff spot right now.
He does. I mean, after finishing in the bottom 3 in week 1, he's now had back-to-back top 3 performances. Like, I mean, obviously he was number 1 last week, and I think the only reason he wasn't this week was because Wendo. We'll get to Wendo. I'm pretty sure Wendo's
Let's get there right now.
Segueing into the next matchup.
Yeah, Wendo had the game of a lifetime.
Wendo loses Christian McCaffrey and drops 157.
Yep. It's not necessarily fair.
Also, that was after starting Gardner Minshew,
who got less than 10.
9. Like,
yeah.
That's like, obviously he spent, I think it was almost 40% of his budget on Mike Davis. So far, it was like he had to do it. 19 points in the first week. It's nice for him.
The fact that he's been able to weather the storm of George Kittle and Christian McCaffrey being out is a huge testament to like a scrappy team. Like but the bottom line is, it's a little inflated. The Colts defense putting up 26 against, and granted they were playing the Jets.
It was the Jets.
It's a must start. It's a good start. I
it was
have
a good
no
one.
fault
He
with that.
used a good amount of his. I don't remember what he used, but I know he used a good amount of his budget on that as well, and obviously it
paid off.
Worked out. After week 2, when Christian McCaffrey got hurt, I was actually at the bar with Window, and I was like, "Look, man, if I come back and win this game, which at the time was a very realistic thing, I ended up losing by like 6 or 7. I was like, if I come back and win this game, and you fall to 0-2, and you don't have McCaffrey, you're gonna have to trade McCaffrey." Of course, he holds up for the win. Comes out, drops 157. Like, now he's in prime position to just ride that wave until McCaffrey gets back.
Yep. Meanwhile, let's talk about the title of the episode, Jason Smith.
There is no doubt that it requires a lot of bad luck to play against the top scoring team for the first 3 weeks of the season.
I mean, no shit.
That's not. Obviously, that streak will end this week.
He plays me this week.
Yeah.
No, I'm gonna lead the league in scoring this week. I have to do it.
You can believe that. I don't think that will happen. So
I don't need Derrick Henry to do that. You understand that?
That's fine. I think that plays a little bit of a factor into it too. So no, that streak will come to an end this week. Put it on the board. I'm making that prediction. It's not a hot take. That streak will end.
It's a very hot take.
But having said that, I'm not going to sit here and act like it's all just been... I mean, obviously, all of fantasy football, there's luck involved with it. But it's not just the bad luck of who he's been playing. I went through it, and Jason has not had a top 5 scoring week yet. Despite last week, I think, when he played against me, I think it was... I don't remember what it was. He did have like a 125-point week. So his team has not been overall bad. It's just...
Week 1... He puts up 103.
103. Like, not a
week
top...
Week 2,
yeah.
He puts up 126.
That was the big week. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was his big week.
And then
last
week 3?
He did what?
104.
104.
It's not enough.
Like, he had one big week, which was the unlucky one, but the other one's like, no, obviously he's playing against the top team. That sucks.
Right.
But no, he's not had a top 5 scoring week yet, and against the league average so far, he's 1-2. Now, where is he at standing-wise? Obviously, he's in last, but how far is he back from 6th place?
The wild card? Let's take a look.
I'm not talking about I wasn't talking about just the wild card, but like from...
Oh.
But no,
I mean, right now it's every...
But the bottom 5 teams are all within a game.
Right.
Like, in theory, he should have one extra win than he does.
I mean, in terms of points for, you look at it, he's number, 7?
7. Again, he hasn't had a top 5 week.
Yeah.
He's only beaten the league average once.
Right.
He's one game back, really, from where he should be.
Right. But points against...
But the points against is absolutely...
473.
It's almost 100 points clear of second, who is Alex, which, again, those are the bottom 2 teams.
It's just unreal, though, isn't it?
Yeah, but I will say this. Despite the fact that I'm 3rd in points against, where am I sitting right now?
I mean, again...
And I could be in 1st if I wasn't a dumbass. If I didn't bench Russell Wilson, I could be in 1st right now.
Overthinking.
Yeah.
No, I mean, like, my question is this. So we've kind of argued the good and the bad for Jason right now. Obviously, it's both. It is bad luck. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah.
Is it? Let's assume, for this argument, that Jason Smith's luck gets not like it's like immensely better, where he starts winning every game. I'm saying like his team. I should say his opponents do the league average. Let's say every week, rest of the season.
Yeah.
Does this team that he's fielded make the playoffs? It doesn't also, by the way, it doesn't help that he benched Melvin Gordon, who put up like 26
last night. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like, thank you. Thank you very much.
That sucks. That's what happened for him. So I will say that going into the season, I said I like Jason's team. I still like his team. Ish. I would expect his team to get more wins. Like, it would not surprise me if he ends up a playoff team. Despite starting 0-3.
He's definitely, either way you slice it, like on that
He's
bubble.
just right on that bubble. I expected it to be a little bit better. I expected him to be in that 3rd, maybe 2nd place. But because, I mean, obviously when we were doing the top 3s, I picked him as one of my top 3. Obviously, I don't know. He's underperformed. He's had everyone go off. I don't know.
It doesn't help his cause at all that, like, Evan Ingram has been a disappointment.
Yeah.
You know, overall,
Mark Ingram was expected to be the starter, and
look at Jarvis Landry. Jarvis Landry hasn't done anything this year, more or less.
Yeah.
He's had just a lot of players who were disappointing. But I also look at Marlon Mack, obviously going out doesn't help him. But like, you look at his roster.
I still don't hate it.
I don't know if it has enough staying power. I mean, obviously Lamar Jackson, Aaron Jones, and Melvin Gordon have big upside. Amari Cooper's fine.
Like, I still
Alan Lazard is punching above his weight right now.
I mean, he's also just got hurt.
Right, he's questionable this week, as is Devontae Adams.
Alan Lazard is gone. He had surgery.
Did he really?
Yeah, I think they were saying like 5 or 6 weeks. I'm pretty sure. If I remember it correctly today, I'm pretty sure that he had surgery.
Core muscle surgery earlier this week. May not be on the field again for Leeds. So that's what I'm saying. So he's out now. You got to start somebody else.
I still think if you look at his team, like on its face, if you're saying so I think one of the problems is we haven't even gotten to bye weeks yet.
Sorry, I just want to really quick. League vote. If you're in the chat right now, I want a yay or a nay. If Jason Smith has the league average against him week in and week out this year, does his team make the playoffs? I want to see it in the chat. I want to see what the league thinks about this. Okay. Go on. I'm sorry. I want to start integrating the chat in a little bit more, and I want to see what people think about this because this is a really, really. I think this could go either way. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, we got our first one. McMillan says nay. Off the bat.
That didn't take long.
No.
So
phrasing.
Like I said, one of the major problems with this team right now that I think is like we haven't gotten to bye weeks yet.
Mm-hmm.
I think I really like his starting lineup if he gets to the playoffs. Lamar Jackson, Aaron Jones, Melvin Gordon, Amari Cooper, Jarvis Landry, Mike Evans.
Sure.
Like I don't hate his team, but now that Alan Lazard is gone, he has a lot of people that he has to hope starts.
Daryl says yay.
I still think like he could get there, and once he's there, if he has enough people that can be set it and forget it players that he could make a run. Again, once you get to the playoffs, anything can happen. I picked him to make the playoffs. I'm picking him to still make the playoffs. Again, he's one game behind 5th place.
League vote's 2-2 right now because
one game behind 6th place, and he's right in that range to get the wild.
I'm not saying he won't, but your vote is yay.
Yeah.
Daryl's vote's yay. McMillan and I both go nay because I like I said, I don't think it has the staying power. Moving on, we got 2 more matchups. Oh, Birchhock, the tiebreaker right now, saying yay. Faith
5.
in Smith. Let's talk about Daryl. Let's talk about Daryl and Nick. 145 to 96 against Brad.
So
they're both 1-2 now. That was a necessary win for Daryl and Nick's team, right?
You
going 0-3, Jason, is a really, really tough hole to climb out of early in a season, even though it is still early.
Yeah, his team he has some scary pieces. If Kareem Hunt sits this week, Nick Chubb could have a big day.
Sure.
We're still in the hold on. Now that we're still here, I want to take another look at David Johnson. Still in that flex range. I'm just saying.
Right now, he is right outside the bubble of RB2. I will give you that. But it's
obviously it's early.
It's early.
It's early. Yeah. I mean, his wide receiver situation again. Cooper Kupp finally had a good week. Finally, I was really high on Cooper Kupp. He didn't do shit the first 2. I expect Cooper Kupp to still be on an upward trajectory. I don't know if Allen Robinson is going to be putting up 23 points a game. Who knows, though? Now that Big Dick Nick is there.
Big Dick Nick. How about that?
I mean, no, it's of course, when Mitch Trubisky's throwing him the ball, he can't do anything. But now, what was it? 13 targets, 10 catches, 123 and a touchdown? Allen Robinson definitely has the talent.
Oh, yeah. He's always had the talent.
I don't know how Nick Foles wasn't starting already, but...
Yeah. I mean, this is about, I think, the ceiling for Daryl's team. Even though CEH only had 15, excuse me. I really, I think this is their ceiling for Daryl and Nick, about 145. But it's about consistency, right? Can they put that in and week out? Zach, watch live.
Yeah. You can watch the other stuff later.
Yeah. You'll rewind. So I really... I don't know if Daryl and Nick have the consistency to get there, but I'm glad they were able to get a win because they desperately needed one. Meanwhile,
I'm hitting the panic button on
Brad.
I'm hitting the panic button.
So what are his scores so far this year?
Not great.
Let's take a look.
So Brad is one of 2 people who has not beaten the average yet this season.
Week 1. All right, sorry, hold on.
Brad has not been a top if I'm remembering correctly. Yeah, Brad
102, 90. Oh, I'm sorry. 102, 94, 96. That's rough.
He's not had a top. Yeah, he has not had a top half of the league scoring yet. Twice he's been in the bottom 3. Like, I'm hitting the panic button on Brad's team.
I mean, yeah. Like, other than, I think it's probably McMillan said eat dick.
Why?
I don't know. I think he was talking to Zach, I assume.
Oh, yeah.
So, I think Brad is probably the second worst team in the league right now. And obviously,
what do you think is the worst?
Alex.
Okay. Yeah, Brad and Alex are the only 2 that haven't beaten the average yet. Like,
yeah,
it's not looking great.
This is a week that Brad, he got sub 100. His kicker and defense combined for almost 30 of that.
Yeah.
That's
like 36 of
you look for like kickers and defenses to see like,
oh yeah, 30 20
inflation of scores, to see like, are they inflating a little bit, are they deflating a score a little bit. Joe Burrow put up I think Joe Burrow's legit. I really do think he's a legitimate starting fantasy quarterback week in, week out. But aside from that, and Nuke and Stephon were serviceable, but I mean, and he obviously didn't help. Goddard went down.
Okay, this was around the time last year when I said, at the time, put my hands on my head and said, God damn it, I should have bid more money on Darren Waller. And after this whole thing about Dallas Goedert, I said, not everyone is going to turn in to Darren Waller, especially when you have a consensus top 3-4 tight end on the same team. No, I mean, did Dallas Goedert get hurt?
He fractured his ankle.
Great. But yeah, no.
I mean, he had a monster.
That is unlucky. He had that monster week 1.
Yeah.
Mediocre week 2. Obviously, shitty that he gets hurt. It doesn't help Leonard Fournette also got hurt.
Yeah, I mean, like, he's dealing with an injury bug.
He's going to have to start Todd Gurley from here on out, I feel.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, because, like, Josh Kelly, I get the start, but Austin Eckler's the guy there.
Well, think about it. He can still save it a little bit with his. So, think about this lineup, right? Burrow, Mixon. You have to start, like you said,
I don't know.
Mostert.
Gurley.
It's a lot
of faith in a lot of Bengals.
No. So, Burrow, Mixon, Gurley, and then Hopkins, Diggs. At the flex, you've got CeeDee Lamb on your bench who's serviceable.
But this is another situation why I didn't like the 35 or 33% going to Malcolm Brown. He's had him for 2 weeks, hasn't started him, and obviously didn't do anything this week.
Right. But it is. I mean, I'm definitely with you that it's a troubling sign. And it's I would say like consensus second worst team.
Hold on, Brad's in the chat.
Don't know what you want me to do. Mixon has yet to break 10. I didn't know it was that bad. Is it really that bad?
No, like obviously he's gotten unlucky.
He broke 10 week 2.
He had 10 and a half.
Come on, what are you complaining about?
Yeah,
no, I'm kidding.
Fuck, man. Again, like I just said though, I don't put a ton of faith.
Moster's
I don't put
a
lot of faith in good players on terrible teams. That's why I didn't draft anyone from Jacksonville. That's why I don't draft anyone from the Bengals. That's why I don't draft anyone from
Brad,
the Jets.
what we want you to do is to do
points.
better.
Yeah.
That's it.
Win.
Just win, baby.
No, like he's obviously gotten a little unlucky, but full. He has. The injuries alone.
No. I wasn't talking about Brad. The fuck wasn't directed at Brad. Can I get you to do your weekly rant about how shitty Zach's team is, so I can feel better about him being 3-0?
Bro. It's gonna happen. We haven't gotten to his team. Trust me. I'm gonna talk.
No, I'm saying like we talked about Daryl and Nick and Brad. I hate that Zach's because he's only 3-0 team right now, right?
Zach is the only 3-0 team.
Like fuck him, right?
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, I thought Zach's team was solid going into the season. I don't think I had him top 3. I definitely didn't have him bottom 3 like you did.
Yeah.
But I'd love for you to just rip into his team right now so I can feel a little bit better.
A few things. I'm gonna start. Yeah. Okay. I can start with Zach. Josh Allen will not fucking score a rushing touchdown every week.
Are you sure about that?
I am positive about that. What does he got? Like 6 rushing touchdowns through 3 weeks?
He runs the ball,
I know he runs the ball a lot. But he's not going to fucking get... Okay,
he had 14 carries in week 1.
He will not average 4 touchdowns a game. Or what is it? I don't know what he has actually now. Josh Allen is going to come back down to earth. Josh Allen is not Russell Wilson. He's not Patrick Mahomes. He's not Aaron Rodgers.
He might be a top 5 QB by season's end.
I'm pretty sure he's second right now. So like it's entirely possible, but there's a lot of quarterbacks who overperform in fantasy than what they are in real life.
So absolutely.
But
the Bills honestly are going to probably win this division. If I had to put money on it right now, Bills are winning the AFC East.
The Patriots will win the AFC East.
$20?
Slap? Let the record show he bitched out on the slap.
Hold on. What's the Patriots record right now?
They are 2-1.
As are the Bills, right? No, the Bills are
3-0.
3-0.
They haven't played each other yet.
I don't want to bet on the Bills though. I'm betting against the Patriots.
Do you want to bet on the Patriots not winning the AFC East
this year? Yeah.
Then let's do it. Doesn't sound like you want to do that. So, slap bet?
Slap bet. Oh, man, I don't know if I regret this or not. Oh, Lord have mercy. I just bet on the Bills.
Yeah.
This is going to end terribly.
So, going back to Zach's team, I said at the time in the draft, like, Josh Allen is serviceable. He's obviously done better than I expected. Oh, shit.
Just go
more on the chat.
No, I'm not an idiot. I don't like to get slapped. I'm not going to just voluntarily give him a slap.
So at the time I said Josh Allen would be serviceable. I didn't expect the top 2 performance. He's obviously done a lot better. Travis Kelce, I think, he's been okay. 14-9. Yeah, okay. DK Metcalf is another one that I was really happy with where he got him. Mm-hmm. Like, of all his wide receivers, that was the one I liked the most. Mm-hmm. Robert Woods, again, is just going to be on this roller coaster all year long.
I think I thought he was solid.
I think he had like 1 week where he's like 10.
A 10,
okay.
Yeah, but overall, I mean, he is a top 10 wide receiver right now. Yeah, that's crazy.
I think that will regress a little bit, but like Kareem Hunt came up with a hamstring injury this week, so he might be out. And obviously, no Saquon. I don't know why he has Saquon on the IR. Like, I promise you, he ain't coming back, Zach. Like,
Zach's biggest problem.
There's no depth.
No depth whatsoever. Exactly.
And that's just it. Now, Kareem Hunt's hurt. Also, I said I didn't like Josh Jacobs in the second round.
All right, whoops. I did it wrong.
But
he spelled your wrong. He did the Y O U
really
apostrophe
glad
R.
that this is what we're talking about on the podcast.
You don't do that.
So,
you don't say that.
I said I didn't like Josh Jacobs in the second round, and of course Josh Jacobs just was like, by the way, I'm going to go drop 33 points in week 1.
Yep.
Since then, what has he done?
12 and 8.
12 and 8. Is that what you want out of...
Still a top 10 running back right now thanks to week 1.
Yeah, just because of week 1.
Exactly.
So I thought that Carolina was probably going to be his best matchup. He's got Buffalo this week. He's going to have Kansas City.
Oops.
I don't like Josh Jacobs the rest of the way. He obviously lost Saquon. Zach's team will regress. He is 3-0.
I hope so.
He's going to lose this week.
But I promise
you he loses this week.
Are you playing him?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
I mean, it was really funny. A couple of days ago, he messaged me. He's like, I've never seen a projection as high as your score. Like, I was projected for like 126 or 127 going into this week. Like,
I've seen this.
Like, I'm not saying we haven't, but like, he's like, I've never seen one that high. It's like,
yeah. Don't worry, Jerry won't get there. Meanwhile, again,
as if I've underperformed in any
kidding.
week yet. Are you kidding? I'm averaging like 145.
Here we go. James, this is the only other team that I think you make a case for panic button here, but
just the injuries just keep on happening. Like Chris Godwin being out, AJ Brown being out, and I think AJ Brown was supposed to come back this week, but guess what?
Bye.
Titans get the bye week.
Yep.
And again, Johnny Smith, who's actually been amazing, third overall tight end right now. Now he has to sit him this week. I was actually talking to him, and he was like, "Oh yeah, I'm going to be starting 2 tight ends this week. He's going to start one in the flex." And I was like, "Damn! I mean, if you got it, do it."
Yep.
And of course, immediately he has to
Not
pull
anymore.
back on that, and he's starting David Montgomery right now.
Mark Andrews has been hugely disappointing all season long. He just doesn't. I said at the beginning of the season I didn't have any shares of Chris Godwin. I wasn't big on Hollywood Brown, really. I mean, I know a lot of people are big on the Ravens this year, and again, it doesn't help his defense but negative. But like,
this is starting Washington.
This is a team where I guess what I was saying in the beginning and what I'm trying to get at here is, I feel like much like fantasy players, you have to group our league in tiers, right? James is in the bottom tier. He's in there with in my opinion, with Alex. He's in there with Alex.
I'm pretty sure
he's in there with Brad.
8th in points scored right now.
And I would say that
he's towards the bottom.
That's the top of the worst tier is James.
He's 8th in points scored.
I think it's James, Brad, Alex in that order is where I have it. But like, they're in that bottom tier.
Yeah.
and I'm glad I'm not.
I just don't really know what he can do. Like, I feel like he has to trade away one of his tight ends.
For what though? Like, I mean, yeah, I guess he could trade away tight end. He could
like one of his tight ends is what he's gonna have to do because like
he's gonna try to get rid of Andrews.
But
I'm just saying.
But he has 2 startable running backs. He has Dalvin Cook and Chris Carson.
Yeah.
What else? Running back Kerryon Johnson.
Yeah.
Apparently Adrian Peterson at 35 has taken over that job.
Yeah.
Like.
Thank you, by the way.
Alexander Madison's a handcuff. Like all up and down his team is like it's handcuffs.
Well, and the thing is,
he has 2 starting. He can't do anything. I mean, David Montgomery's also a third down.
Who's he going to start at wide receiver 2?
AJ Brown is eventually going to be healthy, and he's the number 1 guy in Tennessee.
Okay,
so I expect.
So then it's a flex issue.
It's like I said. It's all about so he's 1-2 right now, sitting in 7th. Is he going to be able to survive bye weeks?
Yeah, that's a good
tough.
point.
That's
especially with COVID shit going on.
Yeah, like I just don't know what he's going to do once bye weeks start rolling around. I think he has to move off of one of his tight ends. Because he's going to need another running back. At some point, he will need another running back. Unless he feels good about starting David Montgomery or Kerryon Johnson. Both of which are backups or a third down back.
He really doesn't have much in the way of assets at all other than tight end. You're right.
I mean, he might be able to throw... I mean, if he wants to start streaming quarterbacks, he might be able to throw in Deshaun Watson. But I think Deshaun Watson's kind of been underwhelming. Where does he sit right now? 18?
Oh.
Quarterback 18? Like,
yeah.
I feel like going into the season, it would have been good, but... It's rough.
That's brutal. Sorry, defending champ.
Like I said, Zach's team gonna come back down to earth. I'm calling it now. No Saquon. Kareem Hunt's gonna be hurt.
Well, this actually is a nice.
Robert Woods is already a roller coaster. Josh Jacobs is bad.
Nice segue. Nice segue. I'll call you later, Mom.
I'll call her later too.
Fuck off. Let's segue into our predictions for Week 4. We talked about this a little bit. You say Jason's not going to go up against the highest scoring team.
I'm not going to go out right. I mean, I haven't looked too closely at the teams yet, but I will say, like, I'm not necessarily predicting a win for Jason. I'm saying he will not play against the top scoring team this week.
I'm obviously going to be the top scoring team this week.
Yeah, with your 107 projection.
Don't worry about it, bro. Dak's going to throw up another 40 burger for me. This is my starting lineup, by the way, right now because of fucking Derrick Henry.
Yeah. I mean, Adrian Peterson has been surprisingly good.
Yeah.
It's been a pleasant surprise. Like, not that he's done anything crazy. 13, 4, 9. He's a borderline RB2. He's kind of outside of that flex range. Yeah, like outside
obviously. Looking in. He's a flex RB.
Yeah.
And
he's a running back 3.
Right.
Like, he's outside of that range where you want, but again, I think this just shows, like, obviously it doesn't help with Saquon and McCaffrey getting hurt, but, like, does anybody have depth at running back?
Not really.
Like, I think I might be in one of the better spots, and I have 3 running backs I'm comfortable starting.
Yeah, I mean, and again, like, it helps that, like, Nyheim Hines, like, Marlon Mack got injured, so I have Nyheim Hines and Jonathan Taylor, but the problem is, having both of them,
who knows
it limits...
Like, it's definitely not one's the starter, one's the cuff.
And I can't... If I start both of them, there's a limit to... There's a ceiling there that I'm not going to... I don't think I'm going to win games with that kind of a ceiling, whereas if Taylor and AP go off, I can at least probably put together a win. It also helps that, like, hopefully, Devontae Adams was questionable last time I checked. They're going into Monday night. I'll telegraph it right now because it's obvious. If Adams doesn't go, I'm starting Hayden Hurst at the flex. That's why I have Devontae Adams at the flex. But it might be the first 2 tight ends start this week anyway because I have to if Adams doesn't go. He's the only one playing Monday night. But, like...
Yeah, have they not given any information? Like,
it's questionable. It's like, I think, limited practices. Let me see. List is limited for a second straight day. Adams was spotted by the media running routes, casting practices. He seems to be on track. But he says he wants to be cautious if he has any doubt.
Oh, that's right. I think I heard on the Fantasy Focus podcast or whatever it is that it's like he's like, oh, I'm not going to play unless I'm 100%. And it's
right.
Like, and with a hamstring injury, how do you ever know if you're 100% until you run full speed?
I'm obviously playing at a disadvantage if I have to start Hayden Hurst, but I'm also like Hurst
obviously
is okay.
No Derrick Henry, you're starting at a disadvantage.
Huge. But ultimately, it's going to be a matchup of does Jason finally get performances out of his players he should get performances out of? It's just so
rough that he benched Melvin Gordon for Darrell Henderson.
Yeah.
It's so rough.
Yeah. Why? Why would you do that?
Darrell Henderson doesn't have a good matchup. He's playing against the Giants.
Melvin Gordon's playing the Jets.
I know.
The Jets.
Has Melvin Gordon underperformed?
I guess. I think he has, but it's the Jets. Not really. 14, 15.
He had 6 last week.
One bad week against Tampa Bay, but it's the Jets. They're like the worst team in the NFL.
Yeah, that's rough. I don't know what he was thinking. Maybe he like accidentally didn't change his lineup.
Jason, if you're in the chat, defend yourself, man. Crickets.
I mean, we are on a delay.
I hear crickets outside. Anyway, who you got?
So, I am going.
Brad agrees with the decision, by the way. Did you see that?
Yeah, I mean that's true. I mean they are starting. Who do they even start? I can't even remember the guy's name. Courtland Sutton's also hurt.
Who's their quarterback?
I don't know. I couldn't tell you.
I could probably
Ripon.
Yeah, Rippin. Because it's Ripper Magoo. Yeah, it's Rippin.
Yeah, never heard of him.
So, I mean, I guess I see what you're saying, Brad. Like they're gonna stack the box with how depleted the Broncos were.
But again, like the Jets.
But it's the Jets.
The Jets can't do anything defensively.
They fucking suck.
I mean, despite Ripon or Ripon, I don't even know.
I think it's Rippin.
So despite
Daryl, how's it pronounced?
Despite him, having throwing 3 picks, it's not because the defense did something amazing.
No,
like it's just.
I actually, fun fact, I thought about starting the Jets D this week against the Broncos because of the same argument that Brad made.
I think he got like 4 points.
That was like 5 or 6.
It wasn't a lot, and that was even with
a pick 6. Yeah,
Jinx got him. He can't talk for the rest of the podcast. If anyone wants to chime in on the chat, if he reads it, I'll count that. But I am gonna go with. He said, "Fuck if I know about the guy's name." This is great. I could just do the podcast by myself. All right, so I'm gonna go with Jason's team, despite missing out on the. I'm gonna be mad at the 24.8 points from Melvin Gordon. He said he gotta make me do it first. It would make me upset if Melvin Gordon cost him the game, but I still like a lot of his starters. Mike Evans against the Chargers. I think Mike Evans had 2 catches for 2 touchdowns last week. Jarvis Landry, I think Jarvis Landry could actually have a big week. Dallas's defense has been fucking terrible this year. Aaron Jones is going to be Aaron Jones. Lamar Jackson gets Washington this week. I think this is going to be a good bounce back game for him. Go ahead, Sean.
Thanks, man. So I reluctantly, I will once again predict myself to fall to 2-2. I will once again predict myself to lose for the second week in a row. And I think Jason's team is certainly better than an 0-3 record, and
obviously.
Probably is like we talked about, it's on that playoff bubble.
But yeah,
I think
again, he has not had a top 5 scoring week yet, but he's obviously not 10th.
I'm saying I think his team and my team are right in that same tier. I think we're gonna average like probably $1.15 by season's end if we're lucky, if we avoid injuries. That's where I think we're going to end up. And so ultimately, like, it comes down to, like you said, matchups. Dak and Lamar, I think, actually is going to be kind of a wash because Cleveland also hasn't been great defending the pass, I don't think. And Dak has been a monster in terms of I think Dak is actually. Can we look at Dak versus Lamar in terms of who's been the better fantasy quarterback? Dak's 4th.
That 40 burger helped.
But he had to put up 28 last week.
No, he's been good. 17 and 27. Okay, between like 20 and 25, 23, 24, totally good. But
what about Lamar?
The 40 points helps. I don't think Lamar Jackson's been very good this year.
12. That's what I'm saying. So like,
but again, it's 27, 17, 14.
And he's due against Washington.
So he gets Washington, Cincinnati, Philadelphia.
Yeah,
but he's going to bounce back.
I'm just saying I think that's probably like close to a wash of a matchup. Jones versus Taylor. Jones obviously has the edge. AP versus Henderson, I think is.
I think Darrell Henderson against the Giants has the much better matchup. Obviously the projections agree with me there.
What's interesting is one of the big factors might be that wide receiver 2 matchup of the Cleveland wide receivers.
I think they both could have, like I said, Dallas's pass defense has been so bad, like they could both have a good day.
I just think Jason's due for a bounce back week, and unfortunately I think it's going to happen at my expense. Yeah. So I'll pick Jason as well. Moving on to Window and McMillan. Winner goes to 3-1, loser goes to 2-2. I mean, it's got to be McMillan, right? I'll just say this. I'm going McMillan for the same reasons I say week in and week out. He has the studs. Although I will say this. This is actually a very interesting matchup because these teams traded with each other today. And
I
really
don't
quick,
really
full
understand.
disclosure, I was part of both sides of this negotiation. Window comes to me yesterday, starts talking offers for tight ends, and I said, look, on your team, I'm interested in, I think I said like Robinson, maybe Davis, obviously Hill, Lockett. I don't know if I said Singletary or not, but like I said like, and I said I think who's this guy that got injured? Run CMC. I said like these are the guys I want on your team. You know, if we can, I'm obviously willing to trade more than just a tight end for him. Let's see if we can work something out. He goes, I'm gonna talk to McMillan about it. I think we're gonna work something out. So Winter talks to me before that. Then I get a call from McMillan this afternoon, and he goes, hey. So I've made some stupid trades over the last couple years. I want to make sure I'm not making another stupid trade right now. And it's a decent trade. I mean, I think both sides benefit. McMillan gets Myles Gaskin from Window. Window gets a serviceable tight end because he was worried. It's Hunter Henry. He was worried about injuries.
Overall, I don't think that the trade itself, like
it's even.
Like it's relatively even. But for me, and you know, maybe this is me in my chess mode. Sorry, Brad.
Checkers, not chess.
The trade doesn't make sense for either side. Like, Window, obviously, he benched Noah Fant this week. And he might miss some time because he got hurt, but you still have him. Like, he'll still be around. Like, and George Kittle is just now coming back from injury. You still have a tight end one on your team. You have somebody who might miss a little bit of time, but he'll be coming back. I don't know why you needed a third tight end.
I think,
and the only reason I think it's a little odd for McMillan, like I can't remember exactly how McMillan's team looked, but McMillan's team has been okay. Back-to-back top 3 finishes. I think hold on.
I think
actually, where is his team? I need to take a look at his team real quick. Oh yeah, we're literally at it. Yeah. Like, it looks like he's starting Myles Gaskin. Okay, James Conner being on the bye this week.
That's why.
That obviously.
And he literally even just said in the chat that's why he needed it. Conner was out. He didn't trust DeAndre Swift. Didn't trust Sony Michel. Sony Michel was going to be a starter, I think, and so he was literally like,
Sony Michel will be the starter this week.
Let's get a running back who's starting.
I understand. Okay, I guess if it's just you're looking at it for this week, it makes sense. But the only reason I'm like so confused, like I feel like this is probably the best situation for Window because Window has been desperately trying to get rid of Gaskin.
Yeah.
Every week he's throwing out trade offers.
Honestly,
to people.
And I'm gonna bring it back to something
I think he just bought a little high on Gaskin trading away Hunter Henry.
I disagree. I think this was actually a win for McMillan in terms of this trade. I think McMillan. Here's the thing about Gaskin. No one had him as the starter in Miami. We're going back to Miami. This is my forte. He's been the guy. They thought this would be a running back committee. He's been the guy in Miami in terms of the running back. And granted, he hasn't had like a great week. But you talked about earlier in the podcast how hard it is to find starting caliber running backs.
It is.
He is a flex RB right now.
He's just outside of the flex range.
No, he's in the flex. 26.
25 is flex.
I thought top 30 was flex.
No, well, 20 is top 2, wide receiver, running back 1, running back 2. And then in theory, in the flex, you split the 5 of running backs and wide receivers.
Fine.
He's right on that cusp of
He's an RB3.
He's on the
cusp of a flex.
Running back.
That's fair.
Sure. I'm not saying he's not, but it's not, again, 8,
and you're
11, 12. I don't think his matchups get great moving forward. Obviously, the big difference here is that the James Conner being out is the big thing. And it makes sense that he needs a running back this week. He needs to be able to plug somebody in. That makes sense.
But more than that, he's going to be starting. Here's the thing, the reason why I'm okay with it. He's going to be more or less starting Darren Waller every week aside from his bye week. You're trading your backup tight end for a borderline flex RB? Fuck yeah.
I'm not saying that it's not a good trade for McMillan. Like I said, Connor's out. He needs a running back now. Yeah. He's gonna need another rotation running back no matter what because obviously depth at running back is really hard to come by right now. I just think he sold high on Hunter Henry in the grand scheme of things. I don't know how much more he would have gotten. It probably could have gotten I fucking need a tight end.
Hey,
I probably would have given him a wide receiver 2 for Hunter Henry.
You want to talk?
But obviously this week that's not what he needed.
You want to work out a trade right now? I don't need a wide receiver. I need a running back.
So does everyone.
Yeah, but I'm saying I'll give you a tight end and I'll give you something else too.
I don't know if you have enough to take any of my 3 startable running backs.
I have 3 startable tight ends.
Okay.
I have running backs I can give you.
Well, who do you have?
Jonathan Taylor.
Don't want to touch that backfield.
Okay.
Sorry.
Fair enough. I mean,
who else?
Dude, who's your tight end again?
No, my tight end situation is
good. No, go ahead and start Logan Thomas all year. I don't give a shit.
But am I really trading away Miles Sanders for a startable?
I don't want Miles Sanders. I want no part of Miles Sanders. We'll talk about it later.
Okay, but am I trading away Austin Eckler?
Yeah.
for a startable tight end?
I'll give you Mike Gesicki.
Like, that's the problem.
So wait, did we both say? Oh, I said I got McMillan. Who do you have in this matchup? We kind of got away from that with the trade.
So it's weird. Like, James Robinson is gonna regress. He did, despite just Jacksonville getting mollywopped by the Dolphins. James Robinson dropped 30,
like 27 or something like that. I thought it was.
Like, what the fuck?
Yeah. 27.
Yeah, like
28 actually. Almost.
He will regress. He is not.
He's a top.
He is not a top 10
RB.
running back. I promise he's not. He's not a top 10 running back. I think Gardner Minshew's gonna bounce back against Cincinnati. Like,
trade him back, AP.
Gardner Minshew, like, just 2 really good weeks, really bad week. I think he gets a bounce back week against Cincinnati. I don't know. I think I am gonna go with McMillan. Yeah. I think Tyreek Hill this week. It's like, his wide receiver situation is just such a wash. Yeah. I think Tyler Lockett against Miami can have a really good week because Russell Wilson's playing out of his mind.
Yeah.
But Tyreek Hill, like, I feel like New England is really good at taking something away, and I think they are going to take away.
They have Stephon Gilmore in the secondary.
They're going to take away the passing game, and they're going to make Clyde Edwards-Helaire beat them.
Right.
Which he will. But that is what I think is going to happen. So, like, I think Tyreek Hill is going to have a pretty quiet day. I don't know if Window's actually going to continue to start the Colts defense against Chicago this week. Like, yes. They're the number one tight or the number one defense right now, but
you don't
Minnesota and the Jets. Like, remember what they did against Jacksonville.
Again, Chicago. I mean, Nick Foles isn't necessarily.
Foles is different.
He's different than he's obviously different than kissing titties. But I'm saying, like,
I think I meant like once per podcast. I like that word. Don't judge me. I'm pretty sure I said it about once a podcast.
We should do like a mollywopped counter. Like, as the season goes, like, ding.
Do it. I'm pretty sure like it's been once per podcast. When someone gets that word, I say it.
So we agree on Jason Smith winning and McMillan winning. Do we agree on this matchup of the 1 and 2 teams? Again, being 500 is sitting a lot prettier than 1 and 3 right now.
I have no problem picking who I think is going to win this week.
I mean, do we say it at the same time?
Yes, it's Daryl
and Nick. Yeah, absolutely.
No doubt about it. Like, I would be very surprised if Alex is able to get a win here. Just Ronald Jones. I don't have a ton of faith in him. He's already, like, obviously Fournette's not playing this week, but he's lost touches when he has. I don't love Kenyon Drake. Michael Thomas, is he playing this week?
Michael Thomas hopes to return to practice this week and may well suit up against the Lions on Sunday.
Maybe he does, because he needs the help. Because I'm pretty sure DJ Shark is also is questionable right now, if I'm remembering correctly. Again, and I don't have a ton of faith.
No, he's healthy.
Is he healthy?
Yeah.
I thought I saw something about him today, but
still dealing with chest
fantasy
and back
manager
ailments.
should monitor Shark going into Sunday though. And that was posted at 12:30 today.
Fair enough.
So, yeah, Juju out on the bye.
Yeah,
that sucks. Like,
that's bad timing.
I mean, Rex Burkhead is on his bench still. Watch him drop another 30 points just because he's on the bench. But no, yeah, I'm going with Daryl and Nick. I have no problem doing that. Like,
yeah,
Alex is in a tough spot with Michael Thomas and Juju not playing this week.
Can I ask one? Daryl says Thomas is out.
Yeah, so.
Can I ask?
He might need to make a move there.
Can I ask one more question before we talk about? I'll talk about Daryl's team in a second. But Daryl, Nick, sorry. Can we? Is it too early to talk about this? Alex for Sacco, yay or nay?
I think that him and Brad are gonna really fight to the end for that one.
You don't think James is in that conversation?
I don't think so. I think James is in that bottom 3 tier, but I still think he's a little bit. He's in that 6-7 range rather than.
Maybe, you know what? I'm going to do it right now. I'm sorry, Alex. I think this is your year for the Sacco. We'll see how that works out. A little early for the S talk. I mean, and McMillan would know. He is our leading Sacco candidate and our defending Sacco candidate.
I'm just saying, Waffle House is open.
What happened to that?
We can still do it.
You want to do it right now? All right, everyone meet up at the Frederick Waffle House right now. We'll see you after the podcast. It hurts so bad.
No, I still think Daryl and Nick's team could bounce back a little bit.
Yeah, I think they go to 2-2 here.
I think T.Y. Hilton has underperformed. Like, obviously, like, the running back depth situation runs into them too. Like, he's probably one of the deeper teams when it comes to running back, though.
Yeah.
Jeff Wilson, I think it's kind of a toss-up between him and McKinnon for San Francisco right now. But, like, he's starting 3 running backs this week, as of right now. I don't think there's a ton of teams that just have the depth to do that.
Yeah.
And I still like his top two. And honestly, Michael Gallup, I don't know. It's one of those things where, like, I feel like T.Y. Hilton, Michael Gallup, Allen Robinson, like, those three, it's kind of a toss-up on who does better.
Yeah,
like, I feel like Cooper Kupp, you have to start him no matter what.
T.Y. Hilton, his whole career, has been a boomer bust player. Alex is just objectively bad.
From all these
Alex, you're not even defending yourself in the chat anymore. It's just getting sad. Come on, man. Speaking of Brad.
Like how Brad just piles on here.
Yeah, right? It's like there's the two kids who are the outcasts sitting at the lunch table alone. Not that I know anything about that. They're just sitting there, and the one's like, yeah, fuck you. So, Brad, bold strategy, Cotton, not starting a tight end.
I mean,
Let's
he's
see how that
obviously
pays
going to
off for
plug
him.
someone in there.
No, dude, Brad, don't do it.
Shows confidence.
If you beat James without starting a tight end, that's just a dominant win. So, like, obviously, Brad, he mentioned it on the chat. He's dealing with the injury bug with Goddard out. He's dealing with Mostert, still is out, I believe.
Yes.
But this is actually a matchup.
Leonard Fournette's also out this week, who he still has in his starting lineup.
Brad's in real trouble.
Oh, he says hit refresh. Yeah, let's see.
He just updated his lineup.
Let's see.
Let's see. Also, what would you give me to not start a tight end?
And
I think James has to be the one.
Go back to him.
James has to be the one to pay him.
There's still no tight end.
It still shows no tight end. Who? Just type in the chat who you're starting a tight end.
He only has one tight end on his roster.
I mean, yeah, it's Mo
Ali Cox.
That's a great name. Top 10.
Yeah, a couple of back-to-back good weeks.
What are the targets? It's 6-3 on targets,
yeah,
but he got a touchdown last week.
Yeah. Jinx.
Damn it.
It's okay, Sean.
Thanks.
Yeah, I feel like it's close. I mean, it's pretty close on the projections right now, despite not having a tight end in there.
This is actually great that we have 4 teams that are 1 and 2 playing each other, like 2 teams apiece that are playing each other.
Things are gonna get a little interesting.
This is
these first trimester
real
grades.
Interesting.
God, it's close.
It's gonna. This might be the closest match of the week.
I just hate James's wide receivers so much.
He's starting Darius Slayton.
Yeah, and Marquise Brown,
and Justin Jefferson.
Yeah, it ain't good.
Then again,
Chris Godwin's out. Is Chris Carson not playing?
Questionable.
He's
optimistic playing against Miami, but it'll be game day decision.
That's rough. So I think that could also play a big factor. I don't know. I mean, obviously, as of right now, he's not throwing Carlos Hyde into that mix. I mean, the Miami matchup is good.
Miami matchup's great. You want to play Miami if you can, but
I just don't love David Montgomery. How is he? Like I said, maybe he's doing better than I think. Let me see where he's at. 22. Okay, he is definitely better than I've thought. But one big week kind of spurred that. 16 carries for 82 yards.
He's averaging about like 14 carries though a week.
Yeah.
So
I think
getting the touches.
He's got the extra. He's in that between 14 and 19 every week on touches, which is
and it
good.
helps.
That's
it helps
good.
that Tariq.
It's better than I thought he was. So
the big concern I would have with Montgomery really is with Tariq Cohen out. Like, I thought they'd lean on the run more with Trubisky than they would with Foles, but they gave him 14 carries last week when Foles came in. So I don't think they're going to necessarily change up their game script too much.
Yeah.
So did you pick a team?
I have not, but I am going to go with Brad.
I mean,
it's close.
It is a close game.
And I did already say that Brad and Alex are the teams I'm expecting at the bottom. I think James is a little bit above that tier, but this week with Chris Carson might be being out, Chris Godwin being out, A.J. Brown is out, Johnny Smith is out. Like, it's just a lot of things are stacking up. Obviously, things have stacked up against
Brad also has people out. Leonard Fournette, Mostert.
But Joe Burrow, Joe Mixon, Todd Gurley, DeAndre Hopkins, Stephon Diggs, Will Fuller, like, I like that starting lineup better, obviously.
Well, and also, so Joe Burrow and Joe Mixon are playing against Jacksonville, who Miami just beat the fuck out of. Yeah. So, they're going to have good days, I think. Gurley against Green Bay is probably going to get about his projection, I would say.
I just don't know how to feel about Todd Gurley this year.
I mean,
I didn't expect a lot, and he's, like I said, he's also in that flex running back range.
He really hasn't had the touch. He's had 2 touchdowns.
He's so touchdown dependent.
Right. Because, and to be fair, what's really disappointing is he had 6 points. The 1 week he had 6 points was the week he had over 20 carries. That's insane.
Yeah.
But I do think this is a matchup of top I think James has the better running backs. I think overall Brad has a slightly better roster.
I think this
even
this
with
week
injuries.
in particular, I think like Brad's just got a better matchup.
Yeah, I'm leaning Brad as well.
Have we agreed on all of them?
Yes.
Damn.
We're really boring. Also, if you're in the chat, feel free to make predictions. Feel free to like make a list. Pick your 5. Like pick your teams. See how you stack up against us. You know, we're no experts. We get things wrong, as you know from week 1.
Yeah.
We play chess.
Yeah.
Not checkers.
I feel like we just get less things wrong.
Right. Well, that's why we do better.
That's why we do the podcast and everyone else isn't capable.
Yeah, that's why. It's not because I know.
It has nothing to do with the fact I don't have anything better to do at 9 o'clock on a Friday night.
And that I stream for a living. I predict you develop.
So top 2 teams so far this year.
Fuck off.
No, I'm saying like this is the matchup.
I understand it is. Don't.
I think,
why you gotta be like that about it?
I think the last undefeated team falls this week.
Of course you predict yourself.
Of course I do. Look at the fucking matchup.
It's a day ending in Y.
Look at at my matchups this week. Everything looks good.
Yeah. Okay, you do have some good matchups.
It doesn't help. Like Kareem Hunt might not play.
The matchup of the week.
You expected Broncos to do more. They didn't do much last night.
MVP candidate Russell Wilson going against Miami. That's a tasty matchup.
I think it's another like 5 touchdown day for Russell Wilson.
Right, and I'm saying like you really aside from tight end.
Tight end, obviously, I expect I will eventually make.
Look at your bench.
I have the most depth, which is why I've had conversations.
Yeah, exactly, Daryl. Except tight end. You're exactly
tight end.
Right.
I've had conversations with multiple people about getting top tier players and trading away my depth, and I am so scared to do it because every year I make a trade and it looks so even at the time, and then my player that I trade away just immediately goes off.
Yeah.
So I just like don't know.
Brad's calling a season pause. I mean, will they actually pause the season?
I don't think they're going to pause the season. So the only team that has any issues right now is Tennessee. They now get a 2-week off.
Right.
Like they get their 2-week break because they're having their bye week now. I'm pretty sure like everybody in Minnesota has tested negative, so they're all clean. It was just people for the Titans. I don't think we're going to have that problem.
But what I'm saying is,
all around the league, it's been pretty much no positive tests. This isn't the White House. You know.
Shit, yeah, that was fucking wild. But like you've seen it with other leagues, like the NBA delayed their season when COVID broke. Obviously, hockey delayed their season.
But like hockey, hockey and basketball have the ability to do a bubble because of the frequency with which they play games.
NFL can't.
NFL can't do it. What are they going to be in the bubble for 6 months?
No. But
it can't be done.
But like even if you pause the season and restart it, it would be kind of cool to like. And I don't know that you can with like the way free agency works, with the way like the draft works, with the way the off season works. But like it would be pretty wild to see like the NFL play like the Super Bowl in like April or May. That'd be pretty cool.
I heard that. Where's the Super Bowl this year? Is it Miami or is it Jacksonville?
It was Miami. I think it's actually a good question.
It's in Florida. I know that for a fact, and I remember seeing like
Tampa Bay maybe.
Tampa Bay. It might be Tampa. I'm pretty sure it is Tampa. I know it was in Florida, but they were pretty much being like, oh yeah, no, like we'll be fine to host a full Super Bowl, like no restrictions in January. It'll be fine. I don't know what they're thinking it will be fine, but
yep, Raymond James Stadium in Tampa Bay.
Brad wants to bet me $50.
Wait.
That at least one regular season week with no games at all.
Give me a second.
I don't like.
Oh, thank goodness! I was looking at the announcers. I thought I saw
Chris Collinsworth.
Yeah, I was gonna lose my shit, but it's gonna be Tony. I love Tony Romo's analyst.
Tony Romo's good.
He's fantastic.
I don't know, Brad. Like I don't.
I'm sorry.
There's too many variables with this.
So you make a slap bet with me, but then you're pussing out on Brad's bet? What the fuck?
That's completely different.
Right. No, I'm gonna win my bet. You might actually win this bet.
I don't even fucking remember. Oh yeah. Okay. When we're predicting, I think there's a huge difference in predicting.
McMillan called you a puss.
That's fine. There's a huge difference in predicting who is going to be better in football, which is the whole point of this fucking league. And hey, does the NFL decide to be smart when it comes to like COVID restrictions or not? I don't fucking know. There's too much money involved right now. I don't know. I can't put any money on whether or not the season gets paused. Like, I don't know how to predict that. I feel like I'm making an educated guess towards whether or not the Bills or the Patriots win that division. I can't even make an educated guess. No, yes, it's called gambling. Like, Brad, you don't fucking gamble on anything. Suck my dick. Like, you don't bet on things unless you know it's like a guaranteed true thing. Like, it obviously there's a lot of variables, but like, you're saying too many variables. What are you doing?
I keep smelling something. It smells like bitch in here.
Okay.
You walked right into that. I'm sorry.
Okay.
All right. I'm just fucking with you.
Obviously, like, no. But to say too many variables, yeah, that's why it's called gambling. Like, no, like, when you gamble, you know the variables. I'm not, like, sitting down at a blackjack table and being like, okay, here we go. It's like, oh, no, you don't know. This hand, you just automatically lose. That's one of the variables of the game. Like, no, that's not how gambling works. You know the parameters of the bet.
18.
If you don't know the parameters, like, it's a stupid bet. Like,
18.
no.
I'll live dangerously. Hit. 26. Hit.
Like, this isn't even, like...
So you
I don't have time to teach you how to gamble, Brad.
You pick back to fantasy. You pick you, obviously, as you do every week.
So Kareem Hunt, like I said, might not play. Josh Jacobs, I don't expect enough. Like, he had that 33-point game in week 1. It wouldn't, again, I'm not necessarily betting on it just because of volume alone, but like, it wouldn't surprise me if he never breaks 20 again this year.
Here's the thing, Zach definitely, like, I think he's a slight underdog, but I think this actually is a close matchup, and I'll tell you why. DK Metcalf has a great matchup against Miami.
Yeah.
And so it might also, so I'm saying if your quarterback throws 2 touchdowns to DK Metcalf, that offsets your quarterback a good bit. Devontae Parker is going to be catching passes because Miami is going to be throwing the ball trying to catch up.
I don't have a ton of faith in Devontae Parker.
Devontae Parker hasn't had a great season to start so far, but the thing he is getting
he's another one of those touchdown-dependent wide receivers.
He is, but he's getting targets, and again, they're going to be playing from behind.
Is that a lot of targets? 4, 5, 8? Like, no, like the 1 week he scored a touchdown, he got 8 targets. But like, I don't know, if you're only getting 4 targets a game, I'm not trusting 10 points out of that.
Well, I think also like game script, they've been running the ball a good bit in Miami.
Yeah.
Because they've been competitive in both games.
I just don't love. Like, this isn't like some crazy thing. Like, I just don't.
They're going to be playing from behind.
I don't have a ton of faith in Devontae Parker. Like,
it's not a hot take.
I assume they will be playing from behind, but like that doesn't necessarily translate to points for Devontae Parker, in my opinion.
I think this is a close matchup, is what I'm saying. I'm not saying you're not going to win. I'm saying this is a close matchup, top to bottom. I think. Honestly, if I had to pick. You know what?
You know you want to pick me.
I don't want to pick you.
You know you do.
And so what I'm going to do...
Your heart's saying Zach, but your brain's saying me. That's what's going on right now. You want Zach. I don't know why you want Zach to be undefeated.
Listen, I don't. That's the thing. I want both. I want the tie. I want this to be the tie. I'm making my prediction. To be very
suck my dick, Brad.
I am picking.
All right, how do we kick people out of the...
No, shut up. Here's why I'm picking Zach. Because you have said for week in, week out how much you hate his team.
I didn't like his team going into the year.
How
I'm standing
every
by
week you
I
shit
take
talking.
integrity. I still don't think his team is going to regress.
What I love about this is, like, I can just hear on the next episode of the podcast when you're giving the trimester grades for Zach, like the salt just like spewing out, because it'll be like, well, you know, Zeke, I don't know what happened. He had like 2 fumbles, underperformed. I don't know why they only gave him the ball like 14 times in a game that was, you know, down to the wire. They're leading and they start throwing the ball with Dak again. Russell Wilson, you know, I don't understand why he throws 3 touchdowns to DK Metcalf. I can just hear it coming. So I'm gonna go Zach, because also we've agreed on everything else this week, and I want to disagree on one, and it just happened to be yours was the last one. So, and you picked yourself as you always do. So I've got to go with Zach.
Okay, can we just like pause for 1 second and realize, like, saying like, oh, you picked yourself like you always do. I have the best fucking team. I'm number 1 in points scored. It wouldn't even be close if I wasn't, like I said, a dumbass and benched Russell Wilson 1 week. Like, I have the best team. Yes, I'm picking myself.
I will say this. Your team... I picked you top 3, I think, this year.
I believe that you
because
did.
I kind of did a thing where it's like I know you picked me last season, so I'm going to pick you this season.
Yeah.
And so honestly,
I liked my team, obviously.
Brad takes you over.
Thank you,
Zach,
Brad. Thank you.
Even though he said suck my dick twice to you.
I picked Brad to win this week.
I did too. That's not a hot take. He's playing against James.
Yeah.
Hey, shut up.
I'm just
No, I'm kidding.
So at the end of the day, like I said, my thing is I do think you are a top 3 team for sure.
Like I said, I think my depth
Did I-
is the big thing.
Can someone go back to like our post draft one? I know that I picked McMillan top 3.
Yeah.
I know that I picked you top 3.
We both agreed on Jason as the third.
Was it Jason? Okay. Sorry, Jason. But damn, I was pretty on point in the pre-draft, at least for the best teams.
Yeah.
Wow. All right.
Like I still feel like I believe that I will be proven right about Zach's team in the long run. Obviously, he
He's
started
3-0.
off really hot. He's 3-0. I think in the long term I will be proven right.
I mean,
I'm committed to my take on his team not being good.
right now he is only 4th in scoring, but he is above that 400 mark where there's kind of that big separation between 4 and 5.
It's close. I'm pretty sure after 3 weeks though he was first in scoring by like 1 point over me.
Right. What's interesting is if the season ended today, the top 6 teams would be the top 6 teams. Like, that's, I mean, I guess it's not really interesting, but I just thought it was funny that, like, record-wise, there's nothing that's super crazy.
Like I said, the biggest difference right now
Is Jason.
overall is Jason being below where he's supposed to be. But again, he's only below where he's supposed to be by 1 game. Like you got to, like I said, he's had bad luck. He's played against the number 1 team every single week.
Right.
If he goes out and just beats the number 1
Zach's
team,
punching above his weight. Jason Smith's punching below his weight, and everyone else is pretty much where they belong.
Again, Zach's punching above his weight by... Again, it's so hard when we're only 3 games into the year.
Right.
It's a pretty small sample size. He's punching above his weight by a game.
Right. Man, if I beat Jason Smith this week, though, he goes to 0-4.
And then he will be completely dependent upon the wild card.
Yeah.
And at this position right now, where is he at when it comes to the wild card?
7th. He's like the second.
For the wild card,
second,
he's second. But he's
on the
back
wild
by
card
20
list.
points on Nick and Daryl.
He can do it.
He could do it.
And especially with like we talked about, the tier of the bottom teams, you need to be the top team of the bottom 5.
Yeah.
He's in that like.
He's in that like
that
little
middle
tier. He's in that like 6, 7, 8 tier.
Yeah. I actually worry that I might be there. I don't know.
6, 7, 8 tier.
I know Daryl's there. I know Jason's there, and on points right now, I'm there. I actually think the way I have my tiers right now is it's you, McMillan, and right now until he starts losing, Zach, and then Window, myself, Daryl,
Windows
Jason.
team has to regress. I mean, like I said, I think he's been given a great gift in getting the win against me. He then has a huge explosion for week 3 to put him at 2-1. Like I said, if he was 0-3 right now, I mean, obviously, like I said, if I'd gotten the win, even if he's at 1-2 right now, I still feel like you might have to be looking at dealing McCaffrey just because, like, what else can you do? Like James Robinson, all of a sudden out of nowhere. Mike Davis, obviously, it's only 1 week; it's a small sample size, but he was very serviceable in his 1 week there.
Brad, have a good night, buddy. Jerry will teach you how to castle at some point.
I'm just saying, there's a reason that I'm in first and you're in last.
What a dick! What a fucking dick! Really quick, sorry. One last thing that I
can't teach you how to play chess, fantasy football, and how to gamble all in one day. It's gonna take a little bit of time.
I just want to see. Is there a way to see the amount of money each team has left?
Yes.
How do I do that? I don't think it's transaction counter. I think
Go
it's
to
maybe a league and like. Hold on. See full recent activity.
I don't know how to get to it on here. I know how to get to it on the
Let me see.
on the app.
Is there a way to do it on the app?
There's 100% a way to do it on the app. So
All right.
give me 1 second and I will pull it up.
I could also go by go by each team and see. See here.
Budget info. So yes, what do you need to know?
I'm just curious, like what. Oh, budget summary. Here we go. Budget summary.
Yeah, there you go.
So, McMillan still has his entire budget.
Entire budget.
Wow. Daryl and Nick sitting pretty. Zach sitting pretty. You and I are sitting pretty.
Yeah.
And then there's like Jason spent a little bit.
Spent 200. Like the big, I don't think Brad has really spent much since. Yeah, because he spent about 50-something% of his budget. No, like Windows the big one. Obviously, again, he used like 40% of his budget on Mike Davis, which he needed to do, and it's worked out.
I didn't have a problem with that.
No, yeah.
But interesting. All right, we got to watch the Lakers win Game 2 because LeBron and AD, duh, and also lots of injuries for the Heat. Hope you guys enjoyed the podcast. Thank you so much for joining the chat.
I think we peaked at 9 people watching.
Fuck yeah!
We just gotta put it out there.
I will actually upload this one to YouTube. I don't think I uploaded I don't know if I uploaded last week's or not, but I'll make sure I upload this to YouTube immediately after the podcast. So if those who didn't watch it can see it. They're all recorded on the Twitch archive right now. And I guess we're probably just staying on Twitch for the time being.
I feel like that makes the most sense.
So we'll be back next week with the first trimester grades. I think Alex did those with me last year. So
I know he did one. I think I was there for one. I think he did another.
Yeah, I think maybe you and I. So
then I will also calculate. I know after the first week we kind of said where we had landed, but after next week we'll also kind of see how we have done with our week-to-week predictions.
Fuck yeah, it's gonna be exciting. Yeah, hey, if you want to come out, feel free. Like, come on to the podcast. There's plenty of room in this room. You can see the trophy that I'm going to be winning this year. That James... I still don't understand why James left this year.
Before we hop off with that, so if you haven't already, please vote in the football, like playing football poll so we can figure out another league event. I know James said he was planning on coming down for at least one, so hopefully that will happen.
Yeah.
Like how it flicks with the Zoom there.
Yeah.
But yeah, please vote. And if you're just like, yeah, you're not going to play it, can you just comment that? That way we know and we can kind of go forward. Like, I don't know about you, how you felt about it.
I mean, I'm trying to get on the camera.
2 years ago, it was a fucking blast.
Oh, it was great. I just we were definitely just to be clear, I definitely need to play two-hand touch.
Like we can play two-hand touch. That's fine.
I
like the idea of being able to play another game and then we can all watch it. Like
fuck yeah.
Yeah.
So it was a great league event when we did 2 years ago. Honestly, what do we haven't picked a day yet, but whatever works.
Like I said, if you haven't already voted, please do. I can double check what the results on that are right now. I'm pretty sure the most was a couple of days in November that had 5. So
okay, cool, guys. Have a great week. We'll see you next week for trimester grades. Go Lakers. Then sorry, I gotta go too.
I don't know how to end it.
It's DC right here.